The Israeli Prime Minister says Sweden's call for an investigation into killing of Palestinians by Israeli forces is, quote, outrageous, immoral and stupid. Speaking at a gathering of foreign journalists, Benjamin Netanyahu accused the European Union of holding Israel to a double standard. He said there's a natural tendency in the EU to single out Israel and treat it in a way that others are not being dealt with. He added that ties with the EU countries need to be reset. Netanyahu's remarks come after Swedish Foreign Minister Margot Wallström called for a thorough investigation into Israel's killing of Palestinians. During a parliamentary debate on Tuesday, Wallström said that it must be determined whether Israel is guilty of extrajudicial killings of Palestinians. Sweden is the only European country that formally recognises Palestine as a state. To get more on this story, we're joined by editor of Veterans Today, Mike Harris from Oregon. Thank you, Mike, for joining us here on Press TV. So, urging an investigation gets you banned from Israel. Looks like the Israelis are hurt with Sweden's call to investigate the killings of Palestinians.
Well, the Israelis have exceptionally thin skins. The crimes that the Israelis have committed against the Palestinians going back to 1947 are tremendous. And of course, Israel can't stand scrutiny on this because they know they're guilty. I support the Swedish Prime Minister's call for investigations into what Israel has been doing. It's time that the rest of the world supported what Sweden is calling for as well, because we can't have a country like Israel that treats other people's we can't have them behaving savagely towards people who are supposed to be in their care and under their protection. Just to murder them wantonly through extrajudicial killings it's just not civilized. I'm sorry. And if Israel wants to be part of the community of nations, they need to pick up their game and start acting like civilized people.
Well, we already know that the EU, the UN and the United States, they've all expressed their concerns over the rising violence in the Palestinian territories. Do you think Israel will ever be held accountable?
Well, I hope they are. It's time. And really, it's time for the world to recognize Palestine and withdraw recognition from Israel. Israel is a rogue terrorist state. All they've done is murder people, steal their land since they arrived in Palestine. And it's time that the world set things right by recognizing Palestine as the legitimate government of that area of the world.
And Mike, do you think, can anyone ever criticize what Israel's been doing in Western media, not be called an anti-Semite there?
Well, it's not a matter of anti-Semitism. You have to look at who the Israeli people really are. Most of them are Ashkenazi Jews, which have no Semitic blood at all. They're the Khazarians. They come from a part of Central Europe. And you know what? It's time that people don't care if you're called anti-Semitic. It doesn't matter, because the Israelis are committing crimes day in and day out against innocent men, women, and children. When the Israeli soldiers are shooting, youngsters, young people, 8, 10, 12 years old for throwing rocks, that is a crime in itself. That is a war crime. This has been a genocide against the Palestinian people since the founding of Israel in 1947. And it's time that the rest of the world had some outrage towards this, because the Palestinians, like it or not, they are human beings. They are our brothers. They are our sisters. And the rest of the world needs to protect them, since Israel is doing such a terrible job at administering the territory that we call Israel, which is really Palestine.
Thank you very much. Mike Harris, editor of Veterans Today, joining us from Oregon there.